So yesterday I talked a little bit with Rick Hogue about his thoughts about why Sony made all these comments about the Xbox Activision Blizzard and what their strategy might be. Today I want to talk about my personal reaction and why some of the stuff that they said kind of pisses me off. As a matter of fact, it's almost disrespectful to the developers who work on their team. Let me talk about where I'm coming from right now. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. If you like my content, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when things go live. And if you haven't heard, there are all these documents coming out of the Brazilian government, basically, who are very open and let people read everything that a company has to say. And Sony sounds weak AF in this merger. If you just look at all of the headlines out there, everybody got the same read on this situation. They sound scared and worried about it happening. And honestly, I think it's all bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit that they would talk this way and act like Call of Duty, which is going to be multi-platform still, by the way, is going to do irreparable damage to them if Xbox owns it somehow. Here's what they say. Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. Okay. They also go on to talk about how Microsoft and Activision's competitors in the development and game publishing include SIE, Nintendo, EA, Ubisoft, Epic Games, Riot Games, Warner Brothers, Rockstar, Take-Two. So nobody could ever rival Call of Duty, but you just listed the developers of Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite, Apex Legends, and there's so many developers on this list who have made Ubisoft creates Rainbow Six Siege. Nobody could ever make anything that holds a candle to those games. And here's what David Jaffe said about the comment. Honestly, I'm going to play his Twitter clip. David, please don't dig me for this, but hopefully it comes through.
It just feels like Sony's more like, that's not fair. It's like, well, man the up, make a better mousetrap, compete. You guys have some of the most creative people on the planet making your games. Some of the best technology on the planet. Don't take Call of Duty from us, you. Be a man, fight. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what bothers me about it.
So I just want to say real quick, I kind of agree with Jaffe on this one. And I think the reason he's so pissed off is because it's basically a big FU to all of the development teams who currently are a part of the Bungie family. PlayStation has brought us phenomenal games. God of War, Ratchet & Clank, Uncharted, Last of Us, Horizon, Infamous, Shadow of Colossus series, or Shadow of Colossus, Ego, all those games. The best Spider-Man games that have ever been made. Final Fantasy 14 is their own console exclusive right now. You're telling me that's not a huge game? And then there's also Apex, Battlefield, PUBG, Fortnite. Oh, and what's that game that's been top 10 on Steam since its release? Destiny 2, created by the company that you now own. It's bullshit. They are only acting this way, as Rick pointed out in the video yesterday, because they want to point out and f up the deal for Xbox, which is a smart strategy. But my reaction to it is the comments that you're making are really kind of an FU to developers, and I don't like that. It really upsets me because I understand why they're doing it, but I just find it incredibly disrespectful to do that. They also talk about how Game Pass has captured approximately 60 to 70% of the global market for subscription services over the past 5 years. The market share in Brazil is reportedly even higher, with 70 to 80% of PC subscription services comprised of Game Pass. Sony believed creating a rival to Microsoft's subscription service, even with substantial investments, would require several years for a competitor. Would it though? Would it really take that long for you to figure it out? You have PlayStation Plus. You've already built a great system for your players and for your community. And you're telling me that you're scared of subscription services? I mean, like, I just don't buy it. When year over year over year, you're posting record-breaking profits, yet you still somehow can't figure out how to offer a comparable service. So you're also shitting on your own service. I guess even though I have recommended multiple times that you should subscribe to PlayStation Plus and get the various whatever tier you feel most comfortable in, Sony doesn't agree with that. Sony thinks there's no way they could create something that could ever rival Game Pass. It would be impossible for them to do it, even though it would mean they get a piece of that 70 to 80% pie. Wouldn't you want a piece of the 78% pie of the market if you truly believe that? I don't like it when a company comes out and they're a wolf in sheep's clothing. Sony is vicious. You have to remember, this is the same developer that would same company that would charge developers if they activated crossplay. There was a crossplay tax that Sony had during the PlayStation 4 era. I think this deal scares them because they know they're going to lose a lot of the revenue that they usually get to put in their pockets from the Call of Duty deals, right? So this is the first time that we've actually gotten to see what they are saying about the merger behind closed doors, and it's there for everyone to see. If you look at what everybody else said, and if I just bring up the thread here real quick, you can actually look into what a lot of the other companies have said, like Warner Brothers, Ubisoft. Ubisoft said there is no justification for a market distinction based on their genres and types. Many games cross genres, and players typically are not limited to a single genre. I don't think that ABK has unique games because there is no such a video game title that doesn't have close competition. All publishers and games compete for available playtime, and none title stands alone in its own genre. They even point out the games that I pointed out. Battlefield, PUBG, Apex, or Rainbow Six are competitors for COD. Candy Crush has multiple similar games, and ESO Online or Blade and Soul are alternatives to WoW. So screw what I said. Ubisoft is saying that. So even Ubisoft is like, all right, come off it. Really? You're really going to sit here and play like some poor victim with your billions of dollars that you posted in profit? Again, this is Sony. Like Rick said, this is Sony taking their shot with the regulators. And I hope they don't bite, because look, if you're going to make an argument, you got to make a better argument than being $5 billion ahead of Microsoft and worried about a company being purchased that is still going to release games on your platform. David Jaffe really said it best. Man up, compete, make some amazing games. You bought the publisher that behind Destiny, one of the biggest PC games. I'm still going to play Destiny. Man, it really rubbed me the wrong way when I started reading these comments, and I just kind of wanted to give my rant. I've been going through and translating it myself from Portuguese to English. I know there's compilations and stuff like that, but I wanted to read it for myself, and I just find it super interesting. And Sony, you look incredibly weak right now with the comments that have been released publicly now. And based on the headlines I've seen, I think that was the reaction that most people had. I don't think they're actually scared. I think they're like hamming it up a little bit for the Brazilian whatever that is asking them, well, how do you feel about it? Well, we really don't want it to happen. And everybody else can smell bullshit just like I can. We know that Sony is going to continue making phenomenal games, whether or not this deal goes through. But people remember shit like this. When you say stuff like that, it's just not a good look. And I have to imagine like the Sony corporate people are not happy about these comments out today because it looks weak. And weakness is not something that Sony or PlayStation wants to be exhibiting in this market, especially when they have done so many smart things this last year so tremendously well. It's just one of those stories that I'm just like, no, get off it. Get out of here. You just had a terrible quarter and still posted huge profits, right? Whatever. That's my 2 cents on it. I think they look really weak. I think all of these stories are not a good look for Sony. And I am sort of curious what the reaction is going to be over the next few days as more and more of these stories come out and more people see it. Like, are people going to make a deal with Sony, going to start second guessing that, being like, maybe we should talk to Xbox first because Sony seems real scared about that deal? As we know, Sony hates it when their documents get into the public, because when we did the Epic versus Apple versus everybody in the world case, those documents came out and they tried to hush them up right away. The documents I talked about earlier with the cross-play tax that they would implement on people. It's just, it's messed up. Anyway, that's the game, right? They're playing the game, and we're all reacting to it. But that's my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your 2 cents. If you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. This one was really off the cuff, just sort of reactionary for sure. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to become a member, memberships are open. Thank you so much to all of the members who have joined lately. If you want to become a member, you click that join button right down there. Hopefully I didn't get too spicy. I know I said a few bad words, and so did Jaffe. Very bad, Jaffe. Don't say bad words. But, man, I really hope Sony is going to be okay. Spoilers, they're going to be just fine. I'll see you for the next one, everybody. Bye for now.